Gut tanzen heißt für
For
mich
me, dancing well simply means surrendering to the music, not paying attention to what others think.
Und wenn man von
And if you want to talk about meditative effects, then I definitely have such moments with Dance Well.
Es ist wirklich so, wenn man da tanzt.
When you dance, in that moment, the illness is really gone.
Feeling movement, living touch. The Dance Well Club. The Culture Factory Kampnagel in Hamburg. Since September 2023, dancers have been meeting at the K3 Center for Choreography for the Dance Well Club, a dance program for people with and without Parkinson's disease. The group meets once a week to dance together. The club is open to people of all ages and previous experience is not needed.
erstmal ist es so sehr die
At
Aufwärmphase.
first, there is the arriving phase, so to speak. You arrive and you leave everyday life outside. And that takes a few minutes.
Paar Minuten.
Chris has been with the Dance Well Club from the beginning. He is there almost every Monday afternoon.
Ich bin Christian Schmidt.
I am Christian Schmidt-Heisch. I'm 44 years old and I live and work in the great city of
Bin
Hamburg.
verheiratet, habe kein.
I'm married, I don't have any children, and I deal a lot with the topic of Parkinson's disease. I founded an association and a self-help group on this topic, among other things, and I work in social services in the public sector.
Ich leite heute die Stunde, dann haben wir heute meinen Co-Leader und Co-Leaderin. Und wir machen als erstes eine kleine Runde, und zwar ist es ein Mini-Check-In.
Dann gibt es so ein bisschen erstmal so das Warm-up.
And then there's the warm-up phase,
Heute in diesem Moment
where we warm up our bodies, stretch and see how does the body work today,
Dehnen sozusagen.
because it varies a lot. Sometimes more, sometimes less well.
Mal mehr, mal weniger gut.
Genau, meine Bewegung ist diese hier.
Guckt, wie weit.
How far can I go today? How can I stretch upwards? How can I move to the side or backwards? How about bending down? How about lying on the floor? That is the transition phase, so to speak, from the everyday world to the world of dance.
Genau, ich mache Musik an. Wir beschäftigen uns ja immer noch mit der Begegnung, mit dem Thema Begegnung. Und heute ganz intensiv mit der Begegnung mit unserem eigenen Körper und später auch im Verlauf mit anderen Körpern. Aber mir ist wichtig, dass wir euch jetzt erstmal auf euren eigenen Körper konzentriert.
A total of 5 teachers take turns leading the weekly dance club in teams. Teresa Hoffmann, Azad Yejimen, Venezia Kalampaliki, Fernanda Ortiz and Sarah Bazia Planke. Who is leading the class today?
Ehrlich gesagt weiß ich gar nicht mehr, wie ich daran
To be
gekommen bin.
honest, I don't remember how I got involved. I only know that I got in touch via Sarah. We had done some courses before, and then she told me about Dance Well. And then I thought, hey, I used to dance in my youth, like in a ballroom dance school. And dancing has always been part of me, and I just like to move to music. And then I said, hey, I'll come with you. And so I stuck with it. And I'm actually a founding member of the dancers. And every Monday, I stand at Kampnagel and try Dance Well. The first few minutes, half an hour or so, when we didn't know each other yet, it was, of course, a bit like going beyond your limits because you're sitting opposite each other. You don't have a table in front of you, like in a seminar, for example. You can't sit down and say, okay, my tremor is on the left-hand side, I'll sit on it. So you just stand there and expose yourself, figuratively speaking.
Tremor ist das Zittern in den Armen.
Tremor is the rhythmic shaking of body parts, usually in the arms, but it also occurs in the head as a head tremor. This is a visible sign of Parkinson's.
Und man schämt sich nicht um.
And you're not ashamed, but you feel uncomfortable when you're around other people. And that's why I had to overcome a lot when I came to the class the first time. But I quickly realized that some of them are just like me, or that the others who don't have Parkinson's don't have a problem with it. Also, it is not written on our foreheads if we have Parkinson's or if we don't have it. We just get together and dance and spend a great hour and a half together.
Wir tanzen ja erstmal auf den Stuhl sozusagen.
At first, we move on chairs. And I find it really interesting that you can just move your individual body parts and it becomes a dance.
Dass man einzelne Körperteile bewegt und dann wird es zum Tanz, indem man
Then we stand up and move towards each other or away from each other. And in that moment, it becomes a performance.
Jetzt ist es aber so, dass wir einmal ein langsames Tempo haben und dann ein schnelles Tempo und dann ein Freestyle. Das langsame Tempo ist so, dass wir 4-mal klopfen. 1, 2, 3.
Das macht jeder so weit er kann.
Everyone tries their best. If you don't like something or you are not comfortable to do a movement, you don't have to do it. That's the great advantage of this concept, that you don't get side eyes, no one is judging you. You can sit down if you don't like something or need a rest, and that is completely fine.
Ja, ich hatte überlegt, soll man das jetzt gleich so sagen?
In my first class, I thought about whether I should say that I have Parkinson's. I have to say, for a long time I had a problem with the fact that I have it. I now have known for a year and a half. I didn't actually believe that I had it at first. And yes, I do have a tremor, and I always thought that maybe it was something else, that my arm was simply overstimulated from working because I type a lot, I write a lot with my right hand, and I always thought, no, I don't have a tremor. And I repressed it a bit and didn't want to tell everyone straight away. Now I've come round to it.
Mein Name ist Angelika Zwinscher.
My name is Angelika Zwinscher. I am 66 years old and I have recently retired. But I still work a bit as an accountant on the side.
Als Buchhalterin. Und zwar habe ich im Hamburg-Journal einen Bericht darüber gesehen.
I saw a report about Dancewell in the Hamburg Journal and got to know that it is happening at Kampnagel, that Parkinson sufferers and non-Parkinson sufferers dance together. They showed an excerpt and I thought it was really great, so I thought it would be something for me. I've actually always been involved in sport, and now, of course, it's continuing because of my illness. The fact that I've had to deal with the illness a lot clearly now has set me back and it changed me. But I actually still enjoy everything and continue to do a lot of sports. It's also very, very important for me to keep moving.
Mach weiterhin viel Sport. Das ist für mich auch sehr, sehr wichtig, mich zu bewegen.
Bewegung ist gerade.
Movement is especially important for Parkinson's, and that's why moving to music is the best thing there is, because I can concentrate on the music. My brain is just moving something, and sometimes I don't even realize how I'm moving. It's the music which does the trick.
Einfach die Musik.
Es ist schon toll, dass wir sowas auch hinkriegen.
It's great that we can manage something like that. Scurrying around on the floor and then getting up again and dancing together or dancing apart. They teach us in such a good way. Sometimes we have to walk towards each other and then walk away again and still look at each other. Even when we basically walk past each other, we still keep eye contact. So we're always in contact with someone from the group. I think it's fun. And it always reminds me of those performances you see when they somehow show theater performances on TV.
Im Fernsehen so Theaterauftritte zeigen, ne?
Und da ist es so, dass ich mich völlig frei fühle.
And that's when you feel completely free. I can switch off my head, push my thoughts away most of the time. I can listen to music and move around. You can't even describe it. You're free from Parkinson's, free from medication, and free from tremor. And my body usually recognizes this and says, I'm moving the way I want to right now. That works quite well and you feel unobserved. It's just a protected space and it doesn't matter whether you're tall, short, fat,
Krank, gesund.
ill or healthy or anything
Du bist
else.
einfach da.
You're just there.
Und wenn ich da hinkomme,
And when I get there, I realize that I'm entering a convincing space where these differences and separations between healthy, sick, mind, feeling, touch, and understanding are dissolved.
Although, of course, there's also some people where it is more clearly recognizable, but that's different. It doesn't bother you at all. You don't see it anymore, this disease.
Hier geht es tatsächlich ein wechselseitiges.
This is really about a mutual meeting for doing good to each other.
Des wechselseitigen sich Guttuns. Also ich bin Ulrike Steierwald.
I am Ulrike Steierwald, and I've been involved in the project since the beginning, and I'm a professor for literature. But for me, literature is not somehow reading texts or something printed, static. But on the contrary, the phenomena that I'm dealing with are actually linguistic movements, and the phenomenon of body language and dance is something that I'm constantly concerned with.
Sprache und des Tanzes mich eigentlich auch sonst permanent umtreiben.
We are back to remember our phrase, and we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Mich hat auch von Anfang an fasziniert.
I was also fascinated from the start by the fact that this movement class is for people with and without Parkinson's disease, because I realized from the very first lesson that this idea of people with and without Parkinson's coming together doesn't lead to the question of who has it and who doesn't, and that this key word of inclusion, which I have also dealt with in different contexts, is really lived there.
Dort wirklich gelebt wird.
Also die Gruppe selber ist ganz toll, finde ich.
I think the group is really great. Everyone brings something to the table. And there's no one who pushes their way to the front or who somehow dominates. We're all the same, whether we have Parkinson's or not.
Eure Hände Schmetterlinge. Und diese Schmetterlinge sind voller Energie. Und er schickt Energie, diese Energie, die ihr gerade aufgebaut habt in der Stunde, zum Teil in die Körper des anderen.
Eigentlich fällt mir
Actually, I can't think of an hour and a half when moments of happiness didn't take place.
der glücklichen Erfahrungen nicht stattgefunden hätten.
Wir kommen alle zusammen.
We all come together. We like each other. We fall into each other's arms when we arrive. We fall into each other's arms when we leave, and in between leaving and arriving the next week, we are in our normal world. And when we all come together again on Monday, the whole thing starts all over again, and we always look forward to it and are happy to see each other.
Das kann ich eigentlich auch nur jedem anraten, egal ob krank oder nicht.
My advice for everyone, regardless of whether they are ill or not, is to live in the moment and do everything you want.
Feeling Movement, Living Touch. The Dancewell Club. A podcast by K3, Center for Choreography, Tanzplan Hamburg. As part of Dance Well, a European practice and research project for people with and without Parkinson's disease. Project coordination, Sina, Kirchner and Florence Rist. Podcast production, Hecht. Many thanks to Christian Schmidt-Heisch, Angelika Zwinscher and Ulrike Steierwald, all the dancers of the Dancewell Club and the Dancewell teachers. Special thanks for the English voiceovers to Amelia Seth, Celine Celeesi and Marsan. The podcast was recorded in November and December 2024.
Dancewell is funded by the European Union. The views and opinions expressed are solely those of K3 Tanzplan Hamburg and do not necessarily reflect those of the European Union or the European Education and Culture Executive Agency, EACEA. Neither the European Union nor the EACEA can be held responsible for them.